Let's turn to the other breaking news. This is a big story, the hostage breakthrough in Israel. The Jewish state and Hamas agreeing to a 4-day pause in the fighting in a deal that would free at least 50 women and children held captive by the Hamas terrorists. The deal was negotiated by Qatar with help from the U.S. and Egypt. Israel's prime minister says he's happy to get the hostages out, but says it will not stop Israel from destroying Hamas.
The war is continuing. We continue the war until we reach all our goals, bring all our objectives back, destroy Hamas, and have assurance that no terror body will be in charge of Gaza. Gaza will no longer be a threat for Israel. We are winning, and we will continue fighting until the absolute complete victory. And we're doing this thanks to the bravery of our fighters and our sons and daughters, the heroes of Israel, and their sacrifices.
A lot of different angles to this. Joey, let me start with you. So Hamas is saying, it will say, it is because we are so strong and Israel so weak that we brought Israel to this point. Israel's point of view is that it's their military actions that have brought Hamas to this point. And regardless, also Israel says, don't think that we are going to do a permanent ceasefire. Their goal to destroy Hamas ultimately is still going to happen, according to what they're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is why they have hostages to begin with. I mean, they knew that they were outgunned and they were probably outmanned, and they were in Gaza alone. They were going to be under siege in some way. I think that what strikes me about this is that on October 7th, Americans were murdered. We have Americans held hostage. There have been 66 direct attacks on Americans in the Middle East, and I believe 62 Americans injured. We have Americans stationed in the Mediterranean. We're at war, whether we want to say that or not. We are in this war, and I'm not advocating for us to take any steps of war, but the reality is this is not just Israel and Hamas fighting a war. America is a big player, a big actor in this. So when Joe Biden praises this and we hear that Qatar and the U.S. helped negotiate it, that tells me Joe Biden wanted this and they probably put pressure, because when you watch Netanyahu, some of the concessions, that not to get into the weeds before anybody else has a chance, but they're going to stop aerial surveillance in South Gaza for 4 days, stop aerial surveillance in northern Gaza Strip for pretty much an entire chunk of the day, all of daylight for 4 days. They're giving up 150 prisoners, and the prisoners have done things so much that Israel says, hey, if you're a victim of what these prisoners have done, you have a certain amount of hours, I don't remember if it's 24 or 48, to appeal letting them go. So the point here is Benjamin Netanyahu doesn't want to have to do this to get hostages back, because this really is a huge strategic advantage for Hamas that is on the defensive.
Judge, one of the things that you and I are both reading about today, and I'm sure you all have too, but it was something that struck us is the guidance that was given to the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, for what they are supposed to say and do when they come into contact with the children, in particular, of the hostages that are going to be released.
Yeah, and it was very touching, and it's very compelling. I mean, the guidance is very clear. The IDF will be the first to get in touch, or to reach the children who are going to be transferred. And let me just say one thing. These children have been in captivity. They've been hostages for 7 weeks. The children who are being released on the other side by Israel are children who were born of mothers who've been convicted of crimes. So they are raised in a jail with their mothers, okay? So they're with someone they're familiar with. These children that are going to be released today are coming out of hell. And so the guidance is that you don't touch them. You ask them if they want something to drink. You ask them if you can hold their hand if it looks like it's difficult for them to walk. There's no question. These kids are going to have PTSD. They've got to be checked for health issues as well as mental health issues going forward. They're like the crime victims that I dealt with for so many years. They're vulnerable. They don't feel that they are, safe anywhere, and they've got a lot of work to do it to get over that. But these are days of high anxiety, and my heart goes out to those families in Israel, because we've got 50 for 150 of the Hamas convicted women. And if your family isn't coming home, if your wife or your daughter or your grandchild isn't one of them, What Hamas has said is, well, maybe you can give us a few more days if we offer, to let some other hostages go. So they're trying to elongate the whole thing. But it's clear that Netanyahu is going to go forward with destroying Hamas. This is a temporary lull. He didn't even call it a ceasefire.
Right. But Greg, you can imagine that the people who have been calling for a ceasefire, as soon as this pause happens, they're going to press really hard and say, we could just have an immediate ceasefire altogether, stop all the fighting.
Their opinion shouldn't matter. We have a protest movement in the West that is trying to infect this with identity politics. That somehow if a country gets attacked by somebody from a different group, you can't fight back. Imagine if you were being mugged by a smaller person. You couldn't fight back because that would be bullying. So the fact that like in the Israeli conflict and in your own personal safety, in this realm of self-defense, there should be no identity politics. That's why none of this protest movement means anything to me, because it's all based in historical context rather than what's happening since October 7th. But this area, this breakthrough, and I hesitate to say anything about it because I don't have skin in the game. I don't have relatives that are hostage. And if this is good, it's good for Hamas because they get time to regroup, and they're torturing these families of hostages as they wrestle with this uncertainty of whether it's going to be their kids or their mother or whatever. But if you say it's bad, I can't say that to families who may get their children back. That's not for me to say. So it's like it's a challenge to figure out what this is, because these are two different entities. Israel is fighting to save lives. Hamas doesn't care about saving lives. Nope. They're happily put Palestinians in front of guns and become human targets. Their goal is to create the biggest death toll. So I almost feel like Joey said, that this whole hostage taking thing is built into the equation. They knew this was going to happen, but it raises questions. I mean, how do you negotiate with monsters? Who are you negotiating with, and why are they still alive? If you can track hostage movements, and I guess where they're going to be held. Why did they get 3 times as many prisoners? If it's about Israel's response, who's holding the cards here, I guess is what I'm getting at. And who are we helping by applying pressure? Are we helping Israel by convincing them to do things that Netanyahu doesn't want to do? I don't know. I do think there was a lot of pressure put on, but you're right. It's extremely complex and complicated. And Harold, it's excruciating emotional blackmail. And one of the things that's about to happen is family separation. I thought the left didn't want family separation, right? I mean, we shouldn't want that. But what's going to happen is you have children who are going to release, perhaps with their mothers, right? But their fathers or their brothers or grandfathers or cousins are going to be left behind with Hamas. So it's just an excruciating situation.
So as we are in the eve of Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for a lot of things. This is one of them. This is a messy situation. This is what war is. I think Joey is right when you say that we are more engaged and embroiled because we have 2 unbelievable pieces of presence there, some of the best real estate and best people that the U.S. military has. It is clear that we are more involved. 2, I differ with you guys slightly. I think for those who are in support of Palestinians and believe in being activists for a better Palestinian life, this should show that everything that many of us on this panel have been saying and others have been saying, that this has really been in the hands of Hamas all along. If they had released the hostages, if some who are so active and so loud and sometimes can be violent in their activism on behalf of Hamas and the Palestinians, if Hamas had released the hostages, it would have been a lot easier for the U.S. and others around the globe to urge Netanyahu not to wage, in Israel, not to respond as forcefully as they have. 2, Netanyahu's made it very clear he's not stopping. Now, there's PR pressure that is mounted over the last several weeks. He has not bowed to it. He is thankful that 50 Israelis are coming home, but he's made clear we want all of the hostages. So I don't have any doubt that even though there will be pressure, as Greg, you and Dana, I think, rightly point out, Netanyahu has made clear that that is not the direction he's going. Finally, even combatants, when driven, when pressured, be it military pressure or other, towards a humane goal, even combatants can find their way somehow to it. So my advice is don't stop what you're doing. We are here at this moment because of the American military presence in that region, because of what the Israeli Defense Forces are doing. And frankly, because of the enormous pressure that Israelis, their society, is putting on Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank. So I hope they don't let up, and I'm glad that these hostages
There's just one thing
home.
I did want to say, even though it was my turn to ask questions, but I just wanted to remind everybody that it is very likely that when these hostages are released, that they have been given instruction in order to protect the family members who are left behind, that they've been given instruction to say, I was well taken care of, everything was fine, they were really kind to me, everything was great. Just remember that they're under incredible pressure, and don't be fooled by Hamas. All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.